Sometimes we have thoughts and feelings that prevent us from achieving our goals, and those could be guilt, lack of self-belief, lack of self-motivation, and lack of self-worth. But there is one other area that can really prevent us from moving forward, and that is fear. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 10 ways in which you can start to conquer your fear, because fear is one of the areas that is blocking you from moving forward and preventing you from achieving your goals. Most people cling onto their fears because they believe it is part of who they are. And what I'm going to go through today are ways in which you can start to deal with your fear. And I have 10 ways to share that with you. So the first area is awareness. Now, before you can begin to deal with fear, you need to be aware of it. So we get so attached to our thoughts and feelings. And the important thing is that you are not your fears. So even though you might feel scared or feel worried, you are not worried. It is just a feeling. And the sooner you can get aware of it, the better it'll be for you. So we are not our fears. Be specific. You need to identify what it is that you are exactly afraid of. That way, you are able to focus on it in order to take control of it and overcome it. Dig deep. You need to spend time investigating. When did your fear begin? Why did it occur? When is your fear most heightened? Only then, once you start investigating and really start thinking about your fear, will you then be able to chop away at it and really start working at it. Gratitude. Whenever you start to feel your fear is consuming you, stop. Take a deep breath and think. Think about, what are you grateful for? If you're afraid of public speaking, be grateful of the opportunity to communicate with others and make a difference. If you're afraid of becoming a mum or a parent, be grateful for the blessing that you're about to be given, because there are so many people out there that won't get that opportunity. So really live your life with gratitude, because that'll allow you then to move away from the fear and really start focusing on the positives in your life. Get writing. Writing down your fears can help put things into perspective and stop your mind from wandering. A lot of the time, the thoughts in our head are a lot worse than they actually are in real life. So once you start putting things down pen to paper, you'll hopefully then start realising the severity of it isn't actually that bad, and you can start working away at what your fear actually is and start thinking about those solutions. And by putting things into perspective, it'll help us be realistic. Chat. Talking can help us process how we are feeling and gain an insight into the reality of our fears. So by talking and not drowning in self-pity, we are taking control of our life and focusing on our needs and not the opinion of others. And that's one of the things that we really need to focus on as a society, is being really confident in ourselves, focusing on ourselves and focusing on our own needs, and not worrying too much about what other people think, because then we start being anxious, and that's what we need to stop doing. So talk about it, find someone and chat to them. Imagine. Fears are emotions that can feel quite overwhelming and powerful, but they simply feel this way because we have allowed them to. Once we imagine what's the worst that can happen if our fears come true, we can find a solution. And then what happens is you'll suddenly regain control, and you will be able to suppress your fear. So always imagine, well, what's the worst that can happen, and start working on a solution and regain that control. Take action. The best way to conquer your fear is to face them, because only then will they start to become weaker. Read. Reading can be therapeutic as well as informative. Finding a book related to your fear can help provide support and guidance on how to overcome it. So don't underestimate the power of reading. And lastly, get help. Do you have a fear of failure or a fear of success? A life coach can help you examine what you truly want from life and figure out where your fears come from. It can be quite uncomfortable, but life coaching is very helpful in becoming clear about what you really want and what's stopping you from getting there, especially when it comes to achieving your goals. Never forget, I offer free 30-minute consultations so that we can chat about how you can start building an intended life, start forming really strong relationships, create a happy home, and start working on those goals that you've longed to achieve. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Just remember, in order to move forward, you really need to deal with difficult areas of your life if you really, truly want to start working on those goals. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you'll like some of my other videos as well, in which I go through different ways in which you can create an intended life and really start working on achieving those goals. I really appreciate you joining me on this video. Take care.